Let's talk about state regime media known as Fox being in an utter panic mode right now. You had Laura Ingraham bringing on a right-wing editor from Breitbart, and they're trying to understand what the hell Donald Trump was talking about when he went to the U.S. Steel factory and what the hell these MAGA Republicans are claiming about this deal where Nippon Steel from Japan is going to be acquiring U.S. Steel. And Laura Ingraham's like, do you know the terms of this? Because I don't really know the terms of this deal. And then the way they try to frame it, like, well, we should know the terms, because imagine if it's okay now that Trump's the only person that knows, but like, what if you have Buttigieg and Harris? Then we're going to be in real trouble. Play this clip.
Well, the president fights for American workers first. The president fights for American companies first. This was quite a rally in Pittsburgh. We haven't seen a Trump rally of this sort in a long while. Here to break it all down, Alex Marlow, Breitbart editor-in-chief, host of the Alex Marlow Show. Alex, this is being described as a partnership, this deal between Nippon and U.S. Steel, but then it's described as an acquisition on the U.S. Steel website, and then it's described as a partnership, and President Trump said he will be watching over things as things proceed, as this deal goes forward. Have you seen any of the terms of this deal thus far? Like, who owns the majority stake in this company?
Laura, this is exactly where I was hoping you would start, because I'm reading all these different things. I'm trying to get deal details, and I'm hearing it's an investment. Okay, that sounds terrific. And I hear it's a partnership. I'm thinking, wait a minute. And then you think about it, U.S. Steel has been, Nippon Steel has had its eye on U.S. Steel, trying to buy it for 18 months. And we cannot have U.S. Steel owned by a foreign company. Even a great country like Japan should not be owning any part of U.S. major manufacturing. I mean, that is a major national security risk. And I've not seen the deal details. The rally was sensational. I completely trust Donald Trump, and I trust the current Japanese government to do something good. But we have to insulate ourselves, Laura, in case we have a bad president one day. So any deal, when we see these terms, it needs to be Pete Buttigieg proof. It needs to be Kamala Harris proof.
I mean, so utterly ridiculous. Where is the deal? What's the agreement? What we do know is that starting in 2023 and 2024, the deal was an acquisition of Nippon Steel acquiring U.S. Steel, which on a bipartisan basis, politicians said was dangerous and harmful and should be blocked. Trump said he was going to block it. So why don't we get to see the deal right now? Let's see it. Let's ask him. Is it an acquisition? This shouldn't be complicated stuff. Then you have this MAGA Republican Congress member, Dan Mauser, on Laura Ingraham. And he says, actually, it's more of just like an investment, but really U.S. Steel is going to be in control. And even Laura Ingraham couldn't just let him get away with that. Here, play this clip.
Mellon University.
Yeah, Congressman, I don't blame.
I think you for them to take.
Yeah, you're doing what you should do for your district. I don't have any doubt about that. But President Trump campaigned against a deal that would end up with ultimately 51% control of a critical industry like steel in the hands of a foreign entity. Now, you're saying we don't see the terms of the deal. I'm the lawyer, so I want to see the deal. I don't know why they're hiding the terms of the deal. I haven't seen the deal. Have you actually seen the terms of the deal?
No, I have seen where CFIUS is on it and how those national security concerns can be mitigated. And I also know that the president has reviewed it, as has, I believe, Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, and others. Mm-hmm. But it's still being structured, Laura.
Well,
and
so wait,
it needs to be highly satisfactory.
Right, Congressman, yeah, but I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be difficult, but it's still being structured. So, but we have heard repeatedly that this is a partnership. On the U.S. Steel website, it says it's a good thing, basically, I'm paraphrasing, that we are being acquired by Nippon.
So next up, you have Jesse Waters saying that, everybody's saying that Trump chickened out. Trump's not a chicken. Play this clip.
I'm just kidding, Jessica. I pay attention when you talk. I'm a little annoyed about the taco thing because they're saying Trump chickened out. Newsom went to China and was seduced like a woman. Remember, they threw him in a toboggan and took him to a zoo and he was like grinning like a little kid? Swalwell's compromised by the Chinese. I mean, this is a very delicate dance we're doing. We just did war games with the Philippines. We just did a missile deal with Japan. We're kicking all of their students out of the country. We have a 30% tariff. They only have a 10% tariff. We're about to raise tariffs on their pharmaceuticals. No one's chickening out, okay? Just let the process play out, you panicins.
Greg,
And then he makes his next attack at Democrats. They have this weird logo, toxic Democrats. And then how like building and maintaining human civilization is serious. I don't even know what they're talking about here. Play this clip.
Building and maintaining human civilization is serious business. We can lose this country like that. The Roman Empire, the British Empire. Here one day, gone the next.
Now, let me show you how Fox tries to literally censor and filter and sane wash Donald Trump. So here's what they were showing in the morning. They're like, Donald Trump issued a statement. First, let me show you visually what the statement looks like, just so you can see. So guys, pull up what the visual statement looks like from Johnny MAGA's post. You see it right here, where Donald Trump goes, the U.S. international courts incredibly ruled against the United States. Wah, wah, wah. It's purely a hatred of Trump. What other reason could it be? Then he goes on to attack the Federalist Society. I was new to Washington, and it was suggested I use the Federalist Society as a recommended source of judges. I did so openly and freely, but then realized that they were under the thumb of a real sleazebag named Leonard Leo, a bad person who in his own way probably hates America. He goes on. I don't want to read you. It's so whiny and blabbering. To attack the Federalist Society, to attack Leonard Leo. But I'll show you the portion that Fox shows. This is like literally sane washing for the guy. Play this clip.
And the president reacting to the ruling against his tariff agenda on Truth Social, saying this, quote, where do these initial 3 judges come from? How is it possible for them to have potentially done such damage to the United States of America? Is it purely a hatred of Trump? What other reason could it be? He continued, the ruling by the U.S. Court of International Trade is so wrong and so political. Hopefully, the Supreme Court will reverse this horrible, country-threatening decision quickly and decisively.
And by the way, under Donald Trump's own terms, shouldn't there be a $20 billion lawsuit against Fox for that? Didn't they just edit? Didn't Donald Trump say that when 60 Minutes did like a slight edit to one of the things that Kamala Harris said, that caused Donald Trump severe emotional distress and that's why he should be paid $20 billion? How pathetic. What a snowflake. Next, you have Kevin O'Leary going on the Fox and Friends morning show. And he tries to plead with Donald Trump. He's Canadian, by the way, but he's a Canadian who wants Canada to be sold to the United States. Ridiculous, horrific stuff. Vichy stuff right there. And he goes, why would we want to take our best and brightest students and send them out of the United States? Like, why are we expelling foreign students? Play this clip.
Yeah, obviously the lightning rod right now is Harvard, and I must disclose I teach there as an executive fellow. I will say one thing, though, in all of this debate, they curate remarkable students from all around the world. They don't care their religion or geography or race. They just try and find the top 900 they can find, and they never cared. And then I met them myself, 37% of the class I'm teaching is from foreign countries. They don't want to leave America. They don't hate America. They want to get a passport, stay here, and start a business. And I think I'm one of the lone voices pointing that out. Why would we want to take the brightest and the smartest people on earth and kick them out of the country after we spend millions teaching them? It seems stupid to me.
Yeah.
And these guys are smart. These men or women are the very best of the very best of the very best that made the cut. Now, Harvard's taken a lot of heat for other stuff, but they shouldn't be taking heat for curating amazing cohorts. These kids are amazing, and we gotta keep them here.
Well, thank you.
They've always said it about you, Emily. Harvard is desperate for you to come back.
So did you know the world's richest source of vitamin C isn't an orange? It's the Kakadu plum from Australia. It's got over 100 times more vitamin C than your average orange, but I'm not foraging in the outback, and let's be honest, I'm probably not eating enough fruit every day. That's why I trust Aurora Nutriscience's liposomal vitamin C to cover my bases. It's convenient, it's powerful, and because it uses liposomal technology, it actually gets absorbed up to 90% compared to traditional pills or powders. Vitamin C is essential, not just for your immune system, but also for collagen production, energy, and recovery from stress. Aurora's formula comes in these travel-ready liquid packets that you could rip open and sip. You could keep them in your pocket, purse, or fridge and enjoy them chilled or at room temp. They're non-GMO, gluten-free, made with organic fruit flavors, and taste surprisingly great. And the best part, one packet gives you as much vitamin C as 15 regular tablets without the stomach upset that usually comes with high doses. I've started taking it daily to keep myself healthy and my family too. If you want to give your health a real boost, go to shopvls.com and use discount code Meidas for 30% off your first purchase. That's shopvls.com, code Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S, for 30% off Aurora Nutriscience's liposomal vitamin C. Shopvls.com.
Then in the morning show, you had Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, explain that his flight, this guy runs the FAA, but his flight was so badly delayed he had to drive. Play this clip.
Of transportation. I saw you yesterday. You were down in Washington and then suddenly you're here. Did you fly up just for this?
Well, I was going to fly up, but we had a little delay at Newark, like a lot of people have.
Right.
So I actually jumped into Suburban and drove up. But we're working on Newark. It's going to get a lot better. Improvements are coming.
Yeah, that's what you say. So
You don't believe me?
Yesterday, I was at Pop Stroke in down in South Florida. And I was supposed to fly from PBI to Newark.
Yep.
I get to the gate exactly when they're going to board. And you know what they said? We're going to board in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Just like that. So I wound up going to Delta and I flew into LaGuardia on a plane that was delayed for 5 hours. So it's not just Newark. It was also LaGuardia. What's the matter? Why can't you fix this?
I thought this was a friendly interview, Steve. So listen, what's happening is we have weather happens in this time of year, number one. Number two, we have a limited amount of controllers with 3,000 short nationally.
Right.
And then specifically in Newark, we have a runway that's been shut down. It's going to open up very quickly. The Port Authority has crushed it on speed.
Well, I've heard that it's going to open essentially in 2 weeks, and that's 2 more weeks of hell.
So stay tuned. I think we're going to beat the time frame for 2 weeks. Maybe in the next week it could open.
Well, that would be breaking news because there are a lot of people in Newark.
You're the first one I told that to, Steve.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So only for you.
This is big.
But listen.
He then talks about how egg prices are such that he needs to make his own eggs in his backyard with his own chickens. Play this clip.
Okay.
And by the way, we eat them all.
You got 2, 4, 6, 8. You got 9 kids.
Listen, I got plenty of eggs for the kids. By the way, with egg prices, smart.
No kidding. Okay.
Now, former right-wing extremist TV personality Monica Crowley, I didn't realize this. She's now an ambassador. She's now Ambassador Crowley under the Trump regime. You go from right-wing talk show host to ambassador, apparently. And here she talks about how Donald Trump's throwing this military parade. This stuff is like Kim Jong-un style propaganda. Here, watch this.
And you have an announcement on how the parade on June 14th will end.
Yes, I am proud to announce here on Fox and Friends that the President of the United States is going to honor the U.S. Army, that he is so committed to rebuilding the Army and the military. We've seen record recruitment for the Army. We've seen restoration of military readiness. And so what the President is going to do at the end of the parade is preside over a live re-enlistment of 250 U.S. Army soldiers. It is going to be an incredibly powerful and symbolic moment for them, for the president, and for the U.S. Army and the military writ large. So again, I hope everybody will join us here in Washington on June 14th. Go to America250.org and get your tickets. Again, it's free, and we welcome everybody to join in this massive national celebration.
Man, this is a fun job, but it's not.
Then you bring on MAGA Republican Senator Tim Scott, who lies that their 300-year-olds are getting Social Security checks. Play this clip.
Mr. Senator, how do you see the future of Doge without Musk?
Well, first, let's thank Elon Musk for his amazing service to the American people. He has done what no one else has done before. So found hundreds of billions of dollars of cuts and waste, fraud, and abuse. No more 300-year-olds getting Social Security checks because of Elon Musk. Thank God that President Trump had the wisdom to put Elon in place. We will make sure that those cuts are permanent in our spending packages going forward. We need less spending from the American government and more Americans having their own money to make their decisions.
Now, big shout out to Jessica Tarlov, a host on Fox, when she calls out the MAGA lies. Play this clip.
That's his thing. If whoever sits in that seat, if you like half agree with him, then he says that he's right. Give up your tax cut and we'll talk about some cost savings. We'll go, Pete Hegseth promised us an audit of the Pentagon.
It's never passed.
It's never passed, and they're getting a bigger budget. Well, let's talk about cuts to national defense. What do you think?
I'd love
All right,
to.
anyway,
Is there waste
Elon
within the
as-
Pentagon?
What?
Is there waste within the Pentagon?
Yeah, I'm sure there's waste everywhere. But at the moment where you are supposed to be talking about waste, you don't need this massive transfer of wealth to the wealthy. And the 2017 Trump tax cuts actually did have more for the lower classes than this package does.
Mm-hmm.
People earning over $50,000, their incomes are going to go down. People earning over, 4 million for sure. And I think even over 2.5 million are going to get a lot more money because of their cut, because of the tax cut.
Jessica,
I need to
it's
say
just
something to
keeping
Elon
the
Musk,
rates
though.
the same.
If that was a Democratic Doge master that showed up with a shiner and there was a report that he did so much ketamine that he couldn't pee straight, you would be leading your show with it. 100%.
Can I bring in Greg here? Because he's...
And finally, we have Jesse Waters freaking out that the New York Times did a story saying that Elon Musk is addicted to ketamine and mushrooms and other drugs. Play this clip.
Now they're accusing him of being a drug addict. There was drug addicts in the last White House, and there was cocaine all over the place. They didn't say anything about that when an actual drug addict was running the country behind the scenes. I haven't seen any evidence of drugs, but I am suspicious of the black guy.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching that. You see their propaganda style. We call it out here. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.